you are just joining us, this is INX Prime Live. Remember, we are on your screens every single Monday to Friday between the hours of 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. Now, we know that Islamic Relief is gearing up for a series of exciting fundraisers for what they are calling Charity Week. Now, from a heart-pumping run to an action-packed football match and many, many more activities that are guaranteed to tickle the philanthropic fancy while also making your heart smile. Now, we are going to actually be looking out for this. I know that people are going to lace up their running shoes and do so much more when it comes to this coming week in particular, or Charity Week in that sense. Now, talking to us now is Radhiyyah Varachia, who is the Vice Director of Charity Week South Africa at Islamic Relief South Africa. Assalamu alaikum, Radhiyyah. Thank you so much for joining us here on INX Prime Live.
Alaikum salam. It's an honor to be here.
It's a pleasure having you. Now, I know that a lot of people are talking about it, and we're seeing all of these WhatsApp messages, and we're seeing stuff on social media. We're seeing all of these posters, speaking about Islamic Relief and Charity Week. But what is it actually all about?
So, Charity Week is a global initiative, and it is to fund and help orphans and vulnerable children around the world. So what we do is that we want to unite communities, and so that we can fund humanitarian projects. It is under the banner of Islamic Relief, and it's volunteer-led.
That's brilliant. And I know a lot of people are going to actually want to find out more about, getting involved in terms of being a volunteer. We'll come back to that. But how do people get involved in terms of, donating and supporting in whichever way possible away from volunteering?
So currently we in Charity Week, it started on the 30th of October. So usually we have our institutions that will sign up, and they will hold fundraisers for us. So there's like schools, universities, businesses that will all come together to hold like various types of events. So people can support these events, go play paddle, play soccer, go for bake sales, whatever it is, to support it. And they can also support it via the donation link or crowdfunding pages.
So in other words, every single business or school can create their own initiative. At the end of the day, all of the funds go back to Islamic Relief to be able to assist in terms of the work that you guys do. I think that's brilliant. So I want to touch on the number of schools and people and businesses that have actually come on board that are external to Islamic Relief. How many of those are actually involved in the 2024 campaign?
So 2024 year has been a phenomenal year for us. So as the word spread and Charity Week, social media blew up, the amount of institutions increased drastically. So we have about 90 institutions across the country that are taking part in Charity Week this year.
That's brilliant. Wow, congratulations on that. We are getting comments and questions coming in from social media as well. And the number one question that is coming up is people want to know how can they actually, like we did mention, volunteer and show their support in terms of, sweat in that sense. How do people get involved?
So it's a very large initiative with various departments like marketing, finance, institution support. So at the beginning of the year, we will send out our applications. They will send through the applications, and then we add them to the team, and then we train them into helping our initiative.
I love that. I mean, we are getting other questions coming in and comments as well. Nabila is saying that she loves the work that Islamic Relief does because you guys always, do the right type of work that is when it's needed the most, but more specifically, that it's going to the right place. Just tell me a little bit more about this Charity Week. How many years have you guys been doing it? And what's the ultimate goal when it comes to, for example, this year in particular?
So Charity Week actually started in the UK, and it started in 2000. South Africa joined Charity Week in 2018, and we're part of 9 countries around the world that is part of Charity Week. So this year our theme was social justice, because we felt that the amount of injustice that is going around, especially in South Africa, less than a century ago we were under oppression. So this year we are working towards eradicating or trying to eradicate the injustice around the world.
Brilliant. And I mean, we are getting more comments and questions coming in. People want to know, for example, let's say all this funds that is actually, raised during Charity Week, does it go to to a specific project? Does it go to, I know you are speaking about, social justice in that sense, but does it go to certain organizations? Does it go to certain projects? Maybe you can share with us exactly where would it be allocated?
So the most amazing thing about Charity Week is that we focus on building sustainable projects. So we don't want to just give out food hampers or hot meals. We want to build a soup kitchen. We want to build a school. We want to build a hospital, something that's going to be there for a while. And so the projects is that the public gets to choose. So they get to vote where they want their funds to go to. So for this year, our projects are Palestine. We pledged R1 million, and we've also added Lebanon onto the projects because of the emergency that is happening there, as well as Sudan. That's our main project.
That's brilliant. I mean, I'm just looking at some of the stuff that you guys are doing, from a football game to also a running event as well. What would you say, what has been the most successful event so far, and what was the feedback from it?
So I think in South Africa, we all love our food. So the food events are always are sold out. So bake sales and hot dog sales, that has been the most successful so far. But inshallah, this coming weekend, we expecting to have a lot of events because it's the weekend of Charity Week.
Yeah, we hope that a lot of people definitely get involved. So Radhiyyah, I mean, you are the Vice Director of Charity Week in that sense. There's a lot of people that probably are still deciding on how to spend their weekend. What advice do you have for them when it comes to getting involved in Islamic relief and also just, participating as much as possible?
So in our initiative, it is such a beautiful thing that we believe, or our vision is that we are stronger together than we are apart. So irrespective of your background or despite the differences, we want to build you up and we want to work as a team, because if we can't change ourselves and change the differences between us, then how do we expect to change the world? So I would suggest that they can volunteer with Islamic Relief or Charity Week. They can attend all these events, like there's hikes and tournaments and bake sales that are going on, and get exposure to the kind of work that they can do to make a difference.
Yeah, people are saying that you're doing such a great job as well. Guys, let us know on our socials, are you going to be assisting and helping out in terms of Charity Week, or are you just going to go out and show your support as well, just to make sure that more people get involved? You can also do that not only by with physical or with financial resources, but you can also do that by just sharing on social media so that more people can know about it. At the end of the day, the more people that know, the more that people will interact. But you can let us know on our social media platforms on Instagram, Facebook, X, and many of our other platforms as well. Look, before we do let you go, you're definitely someone who's very ambitious, but you're someone who definitely cares about our young people and the young people around the world. What advice do you have for all the young people out there? I mean, we have a high unemployment rate in South Africa. We have a lot of problems all around the world. What advice do you have for the youth of the country and the world in particular?
I think my biggest piece of advice is that despite your situation, if you give and you take the initiative to help those that are disadvantaged, then you will see the difference in your life. So the more you give, the more you get.
I really, really like that, Radhiyyah. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on INX Prime Live.
Thank you so much.
Perfect, guys. That is Radhiyyah Varachia, who is actually the Vice Director of Charity Week South Africa. Now, we know that Islamic Relief always does amazing work, but this is a very important week where they try to raise as much funds as possible. Please try your best to support wherever you can, and if you can't support, in terms of physically or financially, make sure that you share as much as you can on social media so that more people can engage and support. Now, on that note, we are going to take a quick ad break. We'll come right back.